In our first reading, the book of Ecclesiastes, the author says there's a time to be born, a time to die, a time to kill, a time to weep and laugh, a time to scatter stones and gather them, a time to seek and time to lose, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace, etc. We live in time, in this creation. We live in the midst of time, and we don't know anything but time. And in the next life we'll be out of time, we'll be in eternity. And there's that difference, and there's that importance, the importance of time, and how important it is to value it, that every moment of time is a treasure, an opportunity to gain grace and glory and merit, to please God, to love God, to do His will. Time is so valuable and so important, and we'll see that in heaven. Saint Alphonsus relates the story of a Benedictine nun who died and went to heaven, and she appeared to someone on earth and said that I'm here in heaven, I'm perfectly happy, but if I could want anything, I would want to go back to earth and suffer. And she said she'd be willing to spend the rest of her time till the end of time just for the value of one Hail Mary. She'd be willing to suffer all of the pains of her last illness for the glory of one Hail Mary. That's the value of time, and the sadness of wasted time, how we can waste our time and live in sin or do our own will and waste time and not do what we're called to do, what God is calling us to do. So we have to look at time, we look at our each day, look at each moment of our life and spend it for God. Any time that we spend not for God is lost time, says Saint Bernard. How important it is, and how we can really lose our peace and live in anxiety because we didn't spend time for God. And if every moment of our time is spent for God in prayer and work and doing His will and carrying our crosses and doing our duties, think of all the peace. Think of the continual state of peace that we will be in, and that's what God has called us to do: to live in peace, to live in His will, to spend every moment of our time, of our day, and to focus on now. Now, this time is to be spent for God, not tomorrow, not later on. Tomorrow is for sinners. Today is for the saints. There is no tomorrow for the saints. They focus on today, living for God at every moment. So let us value time and see it as precious and not waste a moment of it. And if we do, then we can waste more and maybe waste our whole life. And let us not lose it. We can spend our time so well for so many years and then fall away and then lose everything that we have gained in all that time well spent. But let us persevere. Let's persevere and see each day as the only day we have, that we are to die tonight, to die today perhaps, and then live in peace and live in doing God's will.